This week, Kenny's Two Pennies presents Fantastic Finishes. Sorry, Alcoa Aluminum doesn't sponsor me, but how can you say that for a hell of a finish? Everybody thought at halftime it was going to be another blowout, because right when Syracuse was going down there towards the end of the first half, they get within the red zone, they run Jerome Smith 3 straight times, 4th and 1. I mean, he doesn't get into the end zone, and what happens? Because of the undisciplined Cowboys we sometimes have along the offensive line, what do? False start. And then on comes Krautman to kick the field goal. Should have been a chip shot, right? But instead, he glances it off the goalpost. Can you say, doink? Or you could say, dink. If you're an old WWF fan, you'd realize what that is. And then a couple plays later, Lindsey Lamar. Boy, he sounds like an old-time movie star. He takes off on an 80-yard jaunt to the end zone. It's 23-3 South Florida at the half. But faster than you can say comeback, here comes the orange. Boy, did they look good there in the second half. Ryan Nassif, bing, 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 bing. Jared West, Alec Lemon, Marcus Sales twice. And then, right there after Bonani, or however you say his name for South Florida, kicks a field goal, back come the orange down the field. Boy, it was like they were playing do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do on that final drive. And with 3 seconds left, Alec Lemon catches the winner, although they had to review it. But what a way for the orange here, 37-36. We saved the season. And I mean, Doug Marrone can rest for another week. Because guess what? It's Cincinnati this coming Saturday out there at Nippert Stadium. But I just wonder, what's with the quarterback's name for Cincinnati? Munchie Legault. I hope that's a nickname, because you know, Munchie is something that you get after you smoke marijuana. Although I'm not insinuating that he smokes marijuana, but you know, Munchie is something you get when you do smoke dope. I could dig on some raw potatoes. You have any? No, all we got is some linoleum. What car? Well, enough about talking about that, and let me give a quick shout out to the basketball team. Until my next show, Syracuse has their first 2 exhibition games. They play Pace and they play Bloomsburg in preparation for the November 9th season opener on board an aircraft carrier against San Diego State. That's going to be a unique season opener for the Orange basketball team. 4 of our stars from last year gone, but as always, it seems as though Boeheim reloads. Can't wait. And after we talk about Syracuse, even though they didn't play, I'm going to talk about Buffalo a little bit this week, folks. I mean, it's Houston this coming week, down in Houston. And Houston is expected to maybe be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to talk much about that. I'm going to talk about this proposed stadium there in downtown Buffalo along the waterfront. The Strong Museum of Play in Rochester is partnering to help try to build a $1.4 billion stadium, convention center, and all that jazz so the Bills can get back to downtown Buffalo. But I got a little problem with that. The thing is, they're saying there comes a time when the stadium comes to the end of its life. Oh, they're saying Ralph Wilson Stadium is obsolete. I know it does need money to bring itself to upgrade with the stadiums now, But when did a 39-year-old stadium become obsolete? Heck, you look at stadiums like Fenway Park, 100 years old, Wrigley Field, about 100 years old, Soldier Field, 92 years old. They've been able to change with the times. Since when did Ralph Wilson Stadium, at the relatively young age of 39, become an obsolete stadium? I don't think so. My blood still boils when I step inside that huge windy bowl about 7 miles south of downtown Buffalo. Ralph Wilson Stadium still is a viable home for the Bills. I don't think it's obsolete. Of course, yeah, it could have a few more anemones. But Buffalo's still got a good stadium. We still got a loud house, albeit for the pros. Well, that's what's bugging me about Buffalo. I'll get back to talking about their games next week. My third one, I have to wonder, was that Hurricane Sandy, or was that Muhammad Ali doing the rope-a-dope? Everybody's saying, it's the monster storm. Makes me think, because it's almost Halloween, of watching Frankenstein, the original one with Boris Karloff, and seeing Colin Clive going, it's alive, it's alive, it's alive. Well, I'm gonna pop an electrode doing that. Oh, monster storm. Ha! I've seen hurricanes hit around here that did more damage. Anybody remember Hurricane David and Hurricane Frederick in 1979? Or old-timers, remember Hurricane Agnes? If you lived down around Corning, Elmira, and Ithaca, you felt the wrath of Agnes when it came up through the Genesee Valley. Heck, there's still a pane of glass in the Corning Glass Center that bears the scars of Hurricane Agnes's flooding. That was not a hurricane. That was just a monster summer storm. Wind, rain, but no thunder. Of course, if there was thunder, was Ben Franklin standing outside. I found it. And while I'm on the subject here, let's talk about number 4. I've seen a program on CMT called The World's Strictest Parents. I know it's been on for a couple of years, but these parents don't hold a candle to my mom and dad. My mom and dad, God rest his soul, you can call them the world's strictest parents. Hey, I think they raised me, my 2 brothers, and my sister with good values. I mean, you look at these kids. If these kids had parents that were strict, they wouldn't be unruly. As all these kids need is a good licking. But you can't spank your kid nowadays. You go to jail. You can't do that. You gotta give them a timeout. Well, hey, if I was a parent, I'd take time out of my day to blister my kid's butt if he misbehaved. Oh, you can say, oh, that's cruel and unusual punishment. You know what's cruel and unusual punishment? Going out and making your kid cut their own switch. What? Which one? That one out there is gonna take the skin off of me. That one there is gonna break my spine. And out there, those parents are just laughing it up. And last but not least this week, let's talk about the... pardon me, I just lost something here. Let's talk about the MTV and VH1. What's going on with the programming there? I mean, VH1 especially with the Jersey Shore. MTV with all these crazy shows. But what happened to the music videos? Hell, making me listen to Casey Kasem on the radio earlier this week, I kind of wondered, where are the videos? Hell, they went back to 1982, and I remember them playing A Flock of Seagulls, Iran, and all that jazz. Well, Once I saw that MTV and VH1 weren't airing those videos anymore, I ran right away from it. Boy, what is with the programming? Now they want Jersey Shore. Now they want this. Get back to airing music videos. Although music videos nowadays are big, elaborate productions. They aren't the simple ones where the artist performed right in front of the camera. Who misses watching Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes? Who misses watching Hall & Oates and their old videos? You know, I just want to run away from watching that. That's my show for this week. I'm Ken Haas. That's my story. And you know, was that a hurricane or was that just a wind?